Hi, good morning or afternoon. My name is DrCherylMeier, and what I often say is I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening, and all of life is a spiritual awakening. I'm a psychologist in my day job for the last 20 plus years, but let's just get right into the topic today. Which is about humbling yourself. When Jesus taught things, he wasn't just saying things just to say them. He was teaching us so that we would have awakening in our life and insight and understanding and help and higher consciousness and the way to navigate through this life that we're in. If you go to a new state and you don't know the roads, or a new country, how are you going to get around? You just explore and go around, walk around, or ask other people that have lived there, hey, where's a good place to eat? So you don't have to waste 10 years getting to know the city. Now, sometimes it's important to amble around and, find your own way and go according to your taste and stuff like that. I understand that, but why not learn from him? If Jesus, even if you're not religious, if he was most wise and most loving and conscious, you can tell even by the words that are recorded by him. If you go to a hotel and you look at the red words in the Bible, you see what Christ said, and see that they are profound. They're profound teachings. And so what did he show us by his example? Because what I was getting here, I'm going to turn the phone up for a second so you can see the sun. Shining through the tree. Always take a moment to just get present. If there's nothing in the video for you, that's the best part, is to just be present. There's that, And there's not nothing in these, there's everything. But sometimes, we live in such a busy world that we can't recognize. I don't even recognize sometimes what's being spoken through me, I just yield. And so just take a moment to be present with yourself, your deepest self, your deepest I, not the I that's running around trying to get everyone's approval and get your own approval and prove yourself in this world. But look, how confusing must it have been for Mary when Jesus was born in a stable, in a cave, where they kept animals, because and he's in the lineage of David, a king. He's a royal lineage on both Mary's side and Joseph's side. He comes from the line of David, who is a king, who's royalty, who God told David, that his lineage would never end. He would have an everlasting lineage. And here, all of David's lineage was meant to go back to Bethlehem at that time, because they were doing a census. And so that's why they were there. And there was no room for them. And if it was prophesied over you, you know, like Mary was told this was going to be the Son of God born in her. And, you know, she goes to her cousin's house, and the cousin's, you know, John the Baptist, the baby, leapt in the womb, you know. There's ants crawling on me. And if that's the case, you know, why would God and the God-man be born in a stable? That's what I was meditating on. I love the sun. I love the sun. The sun reminds me so much of God, of the divine. I'm gonna go sit in my car. I love my car too. I love just sitting in there because it just feels like I can lock the doors and no one can come in and bother us. And when Jesus said, when you pray, go into your inner room and shut the door, you know? I like not thinking about anything else or anyone else. As much as I love being in nature for us, for our videos, because nature calms us down, because it's at a slowed down pace, you know? And so if God could manifest anything, right? If God can manifest anything, then, you know, he could have been born in some kind of palace. He could have had some kind of rich person show up and let them in their house or whatever, you know, but he didn't. He's born in a stable. And he was crucified as a robber, you know, as a thief, because only thieves would be crucified, you know, and murderers and stuff. And it was cursed to die on a tree. He was killed in a way that was a cursed way to die in those days. And I don't know everything about the Jewish religion, but I know from this past 2 years and stuff, or 3, you know, when people died, this person was tested like 4 different times and it was negative, but I won't go into that. The hospital got lots of money to anyway, this is a Jewish person, and I was hearing that, you know, they didn't get to have a clean burial and funeral and everything, an Orthodox one or whatever, because whatever happened, you know, I don't want to go into politics at all. But Jesus died as a curse. It was a curse. And so if we're meant to humble ourselves, you know, Jesus, I was meditating on a passage this morning where it was like Jesus said, if you're invited to a wedding feast, don't sit in the highest room, in the highest position, lest they come in and go, hey, there's, you know, Elvis is in the building, and like someone more honorable than you has shown up, and I got to move you down to this low place, you know. But instead, sit in a low place. And then when your friend comes for the wedding, you know, they'll go, oh no, I wanted you to come sit at this higher place, and they'll bring you to the higher place. And so it's like not to be ashamed of going to the higher place, if, you know, because at one time, right before the crucifixion, they were laying down palm branches on the ground, and saying, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna, that means save us quickly, in the highest, you know, praises to God, and save us quickly, and you are king, you know. They're recognizing his kingship in a moment, you know. It reminds me of a Lauryn Hill song. She's like, I think it's like, you stupid star, they'll hail you and nail you no matter who you are. You know, they bring you up when it's convenient, or when the hype is there, and then they crucify you, you know, and put you down as long as they can't use you anymore. That's the way the world will work, but we're not of this world. We're of a different world. We're of a different world. All of us, we're souls. We're made out of the divine. We're made out of God. Sometimes I speak with my psychologist understanding. Sometimes I speak with my spiritual understanding. I'm also a licensed lay minister. So what does it mean, and why are we taking out this time to contemplate this, Because what is life without the right map, What if someone said, these are the streets in Paris, and they weren't, It's like if you go into a restaurant and you don't know, that the purpose of a restaurant is for you to have a lovely meal. And someone else says, no, you're meant to just stand on your head here. Sometimes I feel like that's God's instructions for us. They're so odd sometimes to us. There's a Lightning Seed song that says that in this world we're upside down when we first come around, but maybe with God on hand we might make it. So what kind of confusion if Mary didn't have faith and trust and a knowing? Like, you got to trust in your knowing, not the no's. The no around them said, no, there's no room for them at the end. And I want to put this little video that makes me cry every time at Christmas I watch it. There's these little kids in New Zealand that did the play, and it's just so joyous. They did the Christmas pageant thing, and they're just little kids, and they have this, it's so beautiful. It's so worth watching. It'll touch your heart for sure. So she had this knowing and this telling over her that the Messiah would be born, the long awaited for Messiah, the King, the God-man, God on earth, would be incarnated, to save her people. And then there was a prophecy that they would save, that he would be a light among the Gentiles, which is the rest of the world, that he could, that's the rest of the world. The non-Jews are the Gentiles, the Goyim. I don't know if that's slang, but whatever, they were the rest of the world, that he would be a light among the Gentiles. And then here he was being born in a stable, with the animals. But once I got a vision and I saw that we, forgetting our soul nature, forgetting that we are kings and queens, forgetting that we are made in the image and likeness of God, have become like beasts in a lot of ways. And so Christ chose to come among us, come to us. That's how much that love is. I ask, draw near my heart, hold me close, help me know your love and your grace. Forgive me for everything that I've done that separates me from you, I pray that all the time. Prayed that this morning, and here he is reminding me, because I was like, why do you want me to talk about the stable? And then it's like, because he comes to us in our animal nature when we're just following our instincts and our beastly lusts and the things that we just want to go off after, our food and pleasure and, feeling important, stepping on other people or whatever. And he says, I meet you there and I bring you to the high place. I remind you of the king and the queen that you are, that you were born to be. So let's just meditate on that. I know it's a mystery. I'm leaving you in a mystery. I was left in one too. I wish you love. Share this. I don't go by the algorithms. You do this. You share my channel.